kumbaga, we never had a chance to look into the process of how this curriculum have been devised or designed and who were supposed to be part of or stakeholders of this design. And I would like to present to you the holistic view of your subject. I prepare this, and even if you look at any courses, iba yung preparation ko because the subject itself will not deal immediately on the focus, but I had divided this into 4 areas. Una is I would like everyone to look into curriculum development in other countries. Basically, we don't have actually original. More or less, we have patterned our curriculum in other countries. In fact, K to 12 is one example. Di ba? Wala tayong K to 12. Hanggang grade, ano lang tayo, o 14 na tinatawag natin, junior high. Pero ngayon, instead na mag-college sa atong first year, dadaan mo na sila sa tulay. So, bali tulay yung senior high. Bago ka pumunta doon sa isang kanto, kailangan na meron ka doon tutulayan. Bali, ang tulay na ito, which is the senior high department, serves as a gauge to find out the readiness of our students. Kung sila, kasi nakita natin, pag-graduate ng high school, parang sumabak ka agad sila sa heavy wars college. So, they were not actually prepared academically, mentally, socially. Diretso agad sila. Bata pa yung isip nila sa high school di ba? They've been playing, pero wala lang. And then immediately, pag punta nila ng college, sabak agad sila with all the voluminous paper requirements of the mga instructors and professors. But in the senior high, nakita natin na para ito yung assessment stage nila to check to what direction our students are supposed to be. Kasi nakita namin when sa nagtuturo ng college, nakita namin na yung mga first year sa college, parang yung mind nila, walang-wala pa talaga, parang hilaw pa. Pero with the 2 years na we have adopted from the foreign countries, which, according to the authors, we have been forced to, sabihin natin, cater this because we are the only nation that has not adopted the K-12 program. Our disadvantage over other countries is that when we transfer, yung ating mga graduates na high school, when we transfer sa ibang countries, for example, kasi nag-migrate yung parents, hindi nila bigyan ng opportunity yung ating mga graduates dito because they have not passed through the senior high. Unlike in other countries, sa senior high kaagad katrabaho. So pag-graduate nila ng senior high, they can be employed. Yun ang kanilang kanilang culture. So parang tayo ang last na ka-adapt. So we have to adapt so that we can globally compete with the rest of the world. So yung first part na sinasabi ko, we have to, sabihin natin, bring to our awareness, how do these countries develop their curriculum? What are their considerations na ginagamit nila in designing a curriculum so that the students will be immersed into the subject or into the course that he or she desires to accomplish or finish. So yun ang The beauty is that I would like to give you an example. In Great Britain, ang kanilang curriculum doon is very specific. So halimbawa, you would like to become a policeman. Meron silang curriculum doon to become a policeman. Lang yun. Na kumbaga, bibigay sa kanya lahat ng mga rules and regulations, violations, lahat sa isang traffic. O ano yung functions ng policeman, ano yung mga expectations sa kanya. So when he becomes, or sabihin natin, when he is employed to become that person, he's prepared. Isa atin dito, paano ka mag-police? You have to take up 4-year course in criminology. Pakadugay na ba ya? Na pag-graduate, kailangan magtuon ka paano maghawak ng baril. It is really a very long. We have trampled our students with so many academic subjects that are irrelevant to the course that the student desires. Nakita niyo yun? So medyo marami tayong pasakalye. Kung titingnan mo yung and the beauty ng subject niyo is matututo kayo mag-delve into Nakikita niyo sa lahat kayo nag-graduate na ng bachelor's degree, di ba? We have more Gen Ed subjects sa first 2 years bago pa kayo mag-major, di ba? In the third year, saka pa kayo mag-major. Kung nag-major kayo, pero iba generalist. Ang problema sa mga generalist is, paano pag-employed mo, may binigay sa iyong subject na hindi mo alam, pinita ka mag-aral ulit, di ba? Ang problema naman dun sa may specialization is that kung ang halimbawa you have major, ano bang specialize mo? Halimbawa, mathematics. So okay lang kung bigyan ka ng math at saka stat. Paano kung bigyan ka ng history o TLE? But you have no choice kasi gusto mo ng trabaho, di ba? Nakapasa ka sa board exam. Tapos pag in-grade doon, sabi ng boss mo, meron na kami math teacher, meron na kami ditong stat teacher, wala kaming teacher sa values education, wala kaming teacher dito sa TLE. Can you handle this? What would be your answer? What do you think? April, ano sasagot mo?
Yes, po, Doc. Yes po.
Yes.
Yes, Doc. Oso na yan sa public, Doc. Oso na yan sa public.
Yes na lang, di ba? But the thing will be a hassle on you. Kasi you will be forced to study. Hindi ba specialization, di ba? But because you need a job, you need money, you have to take it. You have to take even if it's not under your specialization. Pero, on the contrary, hassle sa'yo, mag-aaral ka mabuti. Kasi baka mamaya mapasubo ka, okay lang sana kung elementary. Para naman Jennifer, grade 1 ka lang. Wala magreklamo na grade 1. Pero parang sa college ka o sa fourth year ka magturo, marunong na mag-aso niya sila. Di ba? Oo. Ayan. Okay, ang second level ng ating plan is that, okay, curriculum. How does a curriculum being designed by level? Ano yung curriculum ng kinder, ng primary, ng intermediate level, ng junior high, ng senior high, ng college, ng masters, ng PhD, yan, by level yan. So pag-aaralan natin yun na yan. That would be, sabihin natin, that would be the second part. So ang lalabas niyan is, since there are 4 parts, you will have 4 rounds of reports. So interestingly, ang level 3 is area. Ano ibig sabihin ng area? Paano dinidesign ang curriculum in the area of agriculture? In the area of, halimbawa, music? In the area of special education, ano yung mga subjects that are to be designed or included in the curriculum? Kung meron ka doon sa iyong klase na hindi makarinig or blurred ang paningin or hindi makapagsalita or they have reading disability, hearing disability, or speech disability. See, they cannot even be placed in the mainstream. So, anong klaseng curriculum yun? Area. Diba? Ano yung curriculum sa STEM? Anong ang curriculum sa yung strand na mas sinasabi mga textbook or academic? gas, gas, humes. You see, ito yung mga areas we have to consider. Uh, ano yung curriculum sa mga technical schools, sa academic institutions, sa mga culinary institutions. Yan. So, very interesting. And part four actually is we're going to study how a curriculum is designed, and you are going to make the design. That will be your final output. So you will actually submit to me whatever you have chosen. What area, anong level, yun ang consider nyo when you design a curriculum. Yeah, meron na akong kunting request sa inyo na if possible, huwag kayo mag-absent. Kasi kung mag-absent kayo, halimbawa, report mo ngayon tapos wala ka, I will take it. So you miss the opportunity and you miss the ratings also. So you will be rated, of course, yung discussion nyo, yung reports nyo, yung mga requirements nyo. Kasi ang magiging requirements nyo dyan, your own design. You'll come up with how a curriculum for special children is developed, is designed. You will also come up with a curriculum on non-formal education. Diba? Ano ba yung mga non-formal education? Cosmetology, gano'n. Yung mga tailoring, ano, mga or cooking ba, mga baking, mga non-formal ed yan. And you have to make a difference between what is formal ed and non-formal ed. I am a type of a person na hindi ako diretso kaagad sa kung anong topic. Kasi ang labas kasi natin if we delve immediately on curriculum designing or curriculum development without knowing what are the factors that influence curriculum designing, yun ang magiging problema. And I would like you to immerse yourself on this because I'm sure not all of you will remain as teachers. Some of you will be supervisors or department heads like si Rex, department head na. Ang iba, mag-ano na, principal, master teacher, 1, 2, 3. Then you will become dean. And I have one student kanina na she will become the heiress of the school. Kasi matanda na yung kanyang parents siya, ang hindi mag-manage siya ng school. That's another thing. So para maintindihan niyo, paano ba pag-develop ng school? And I mean school curriculum or subject curriculum. That we have what we call content curriculum, we have subject curriculum, di ba? And we have degree curriculum, course curriculum. So yan. So, gusto ko lang malaman niyo yun. You're familiar only with course curriculum. Curriculum, halimbawa nyo, educational management. So yun ang mga subjects. Yun ang course curriculum. Pero pag sinabing subject curriculum, ano yun? Content curriculum, ano yun? Yan. Then, you will also come up doon sa content or subject, yung tinatawag natin learner. Subject curriculum, content curriculum, learner curriculum. So, paano nyo yun, Kaya nakita ko sa mga schools, sorry ha sa inyo, kasi mga teachers kayo, I do not know if this exists in your area. Because the curriculum that you are using is already given, di ba? So you have no choice but to deliver it to your clients, di ba? Do you still have time to look into the curriculum that you're using to be able to, sabihin natin, simplify it to the level of the learner because not all learners have the same level of, di ba? Intelligence. They vary in the level of motivation, level in the area of interest. So yung bang mga curriculum na ginagamit nyo, Does it address the specific need of diverse learners? Kasi kung hindi, kaya sumasakit ang ulo nyo. Sumasakit ang ulo nyo dahil ang iba nakaintindi, ang iba hindi. Tapos yung mga terminologies doon ng mga modules nga, dili masabtan kay mga highfalutin words na ginagamit. For this, mga young ones na hindi pa nakapasok sa pagtuturo, alam mo, excited kayo. You try to assess people have been immersed in excited pa ba sila? Yung mga bago, siyempre excited pa kayo. So while ang iba is 15 years, 10 years old, nakikita ninyo how exciting if you have been there 30 years or 40 years. I hope you can still retain up to 40 years and 50 years teaching. Di ba? Kasi ang promise naman niya, sabi ni Bongbong Marcos daw, dadagdagan yung pinakamataas yata na budget ang education. That is why many are actually dreaming to become teachers. But I hope we are engaged in teaching because we are passionate. It's not because we're getting the 5 or 6 digits. Okay. So, I already introduced to you the 4 parts. So, in other words, we have 4 rounds of reports. Now, if you look at the listing, sa aking listing na natanggap, 11 kayo. I would like to call in kung tama ba ito. And if there is anyone na hindi pa nasali, please tell me. Ancheta.
Yes po, Doc.
Okay. Espiha. Na Iris man ito?
Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Yes po.
Giselle. Okay.
Yes po, Doc.
Krehan. Krehan is there. Si...
Yes po, Doc.
Sino ito isa? Sino ito? Mary Therese. Nawala
Yes po.
siya. Si Blaze and Rex. Okay, yung mga picture nila. Asa baga dapit ang picture dyan rin. Nandiri sa Pikas, sa Pikas. May bulak sa Pikas, sa Pikas. As kani may bulak din. Asa man eh, bulak o cake? Yung picture niya diri sa Pikas. Kay Rex.
Cake na daw.
Cake.
Karasa ko ah.
Birthday ba ba? Jennifer. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
Ruby. Where's Ruby? Mary Rose. Mary Rose. Asa siya?
Here, Doc.
Ay,
Yes, Doc.
Ruby. Ano si Ruby? Si Mary Rose. Jimenez. Mera.
Yes, Doc.
Is there anyone?
Doc.
Okay, anyone na not called? So ito lang yung nasa listahan. I do not know if they are still coming. Now, based on the listing ko, gumawa ako ng 13 eh. Pasubraan lang na ako kay ano. Baka meron pa magpasok. But I sent a note that ang number 13 is not for individual report, but you can make a comparison when you make your report. Try to compare it with the curriculum of the Philippines. Diba? So, you have seen your report. Kung 1 ka doon, yun ang, kung 1 yung pangalan mo doon sa listahan, 1 din ang iyo. Now, how many of you have prepared the report?
Yes, Doc.
Wala pa, Doc. Naghihintay pa kami instructions, Doc.
Yun lang, since there are 4 parts ng ating lesson, kailan ba tayo mag-end? Nagtanong ko agad ako kasi yung pag-ano ko. Today is 5. Well, okay. I I suggest that you deliver your report in 15 minutes so that we have time for discussion. I personally, hindi tayo katulad ng college ha. So iba yung ating way of sabihin natin, delivering the reports. While you flash every slide, say something about what you understood in your slide. In fact, kung babasahin nyo kasi it will take time, but you just read it at home and try to browse every slide. Tapos, pag-aralan nyo lang kung anong nakalagay sa slide and then you say it. That is why I said it's only about 15 minutes. And pwede we limit our slides to 15. Tapos, dun kayo mag-delve sa ano, kung talaga ano yung content ng inyong report. For example, ano ba yung first natin? African. Okay, African. While you say African countries, ang daming African countries, no? So siguro, try to look at the African countries kung ano yung mga areas doon na alam talaga nyo na pare-pareho sila. So you can make an example. For example, Algeria, Nigeria, ganun, or Ethiopia. Yung mga, you can pick up from the main cities, from the suburbs, and from the far-flung. That is how we deal with the report sa African, halimbawa African countries. Kasi ang ginawa ko dito, African countries, so from the city, from ano, kasi we have to consider yung diversity. Iba yung, anong pangalan nito? Sa city, how do these countries address the needs of and the suburbs and the far-flung. So, ganun yan. So, try to, kasi kung puputulin natin ito, matagalan tayo kasi every now and then, meron kasing workshop ito. So, we will spend only 2 Saturdays. We will only spend 2 Saturdays for part 1, 2 Saturdays for part 2, 2 Saturdays for part 3, 2 Saturdays for 2 to 3 Saturdays ang part 4. Kasi marami yan eh. Kaya ayaw ko na maputol yun. Kasi every alternate Saturday, meron kasi yung for you work to do. Any point of clarification?
Ulit lang,
Those
Doc.
who are coming, kindly tell them to text me so that I can give them reports. Considering na ilang countries we have in the whole world. Pero I tried to lang. So every now and then, kahit na magtanong kayo sa ibang nagdaan na curriculum, iba yung kanilang foreign countries. And at this point, gusto ko lang i-bigay kagad sa inyo in advance. Kindly highlight your slides only. Your enriched reports or documents will be submitted at the end of the semester. So, ang lalabas niyan, lahat 4 rounds man ang report. That means you must have 4 reports. And these 4 reports are properly documented. At the end of the semester, all of you will consolidate all your documentations and compile all these reports to become a book for your generation. Okay? It depends on you if you would like to produce your own, but you can choose from among your group kung sino ang magko-consolidate at you have to consolidate that. All these papers nyo and these PowerPoints. I'm just giving you your freedom how to enrich your work. See that you have works. Then you will come up with, sabi ko, your own design. Pero later na yun kasi, I'm just giving you the expectations ko. In a way, i-explain ko naman yan as time goes on. You will also come up with, titingnan nyo yung mga areas nyo ngayon, ano yung most, sabihin natin, most prominent na situation. Or sabihin natin, ano yung most interested topic dun sa inyong area informally, catering yung mga non-school. But still you are making use of other tutorial areas or centers. Kung meron man kayo. Then I will be asking that anyway later. Basta tatapusin muna natin itong 2 Saturdays of reports. Ang kaso, since naubos natin ang report na ito na hindi kayo nag-report, which means all of these reports will be rendered next Saturday. And you have the whole week. The whole week to prepare. So we will finish all the reports next Saturday. We start at 1 o'clock, we end at 4. Or we can extend at 5 to be able to cater all. So 15 minutes each, we can finish all. 15 times.
Ay, excuse me, Doc. Pag mag-5 na, Doc, may klase na kami 4 po. Excuse po. Pag mag-extend po kami, may klase po kami, Doc.
No, I'm not saying mag-extend tayo. In case ba? Tinignan ko agad yung oras. Sabi ko, alas tas pa man. Dali lang.
Sige.
It won't happen. It won't happen. Divided by 60. Oh, if we finish all our reports next Saturday, we only consume 275. In other words, wala nakaabot ng 3 hours. So, bago mag-4, tapos na tayo. Diba? So, 2.75 naman. Wala kaabot ng 3 hours niya. 1 o'clock man tayo. 2, 3, 4. 3 hours man yan, diba? So, we still have interactions. So, all of you already the reports, kindly prepare all the reports. And if you can manage to give it a 10 minutes, no problem with me. Kasi mas marami tayo natututunan sa discussion kaysa when you read your reports. And hopefully, we don't read much on. Read a lot before you prepare your modules. I mean, your slides. So that when you flash your slides, madali na lang. Anyway, andyan naman ako, I will not leave you. Basta may makita ako na gusto ko mag-input, I will. To be more practical and realistic. Because all of you have been there in the field. So more or less meron kayong mga experiences which you could relate to your topics. So your report is between 10 to 15 minutes. I would appreciate if you can have that delivered less than 15 minutes.
What if, Doc, if
So,
pre-record namin yung video, yung slides?
Ano?
What if we
Ano?
pre-record it?
I-record nyo?
Yes
Bakit
po.
i-record?
Para controlled yung time.
I would appreciate if it's live. I mean you.
Okay po, Doc.
Kasi maririnig ko boses na lang yun. What about you? And when you report, open naman ninyo ang inyong camera. Mas gusto ko yung nakikita ko yung mga faces nyo. No? At least I know that I'm not talking to animes. I'm talking to humans. lagi ako nasa, ano, higit na yung live ako, kaya ang daya ninyo, di ba? Ang buti si Jennifer, kita ko. Tapos meron, ako pala higit, meron tayong interaction. Actually, ayaw ko ng recorded. Sa totoo lang. Mahirap kasi ang recorded kasi boses ko na marinig eh. Online pa tayo. Gusto ko kasi makita yung mga faces niyo. At least by that, I can feel the emotion. Na? Anymore? Mahangin dyan sa iyo, Kreha, no? Oh, yeah. Any point of clarification? I mean, did you understand me?
Yes, Doc.
Yes, Doc.
Any points you would like to discuss? It may be your own experiences. We still have time naman eh. As far as our subject is concerned, na-deliver ko ba sa inyo, naintindihan ba nyo? You have already the overview of the subject, or you would like to discuss on other matters related to your work experiences that may relate to our subject, or point of clarification, how can we address your hassles there, mga issues? Wala ba kayong mga issues dyan?
Actually, Doc, for me, I
Wala
have
pa for now, Doc, kay bago pa.
Gusto mga issues ni mo?
uh, it's because we will start piloting implementation of face-to-face this coming March 13. So I am the grade head of grade 1, so therefore it might be difficult for me both the time management na lang. Pero parang mahirap talaga kasi in preparation of the face-to-face, kasi mag face-to-face kami, then ano na naman, mag-research about these topics to report on Saturday. Pero of
You
course,
have,
I am going to try my best, Doc.
alam mo, Ruby, you have no choice eh. Ang choice mo sana, para hindi ka mag-research, hindi ka nag-enroll. Diba?
Sayang yun.
Ayun. So, ano mo, motivation mo ngayon is, since I made a decision to teach at the same time, mag-eskwela ako, I have to manage my time.
O, try
Education
na lang ng
management.
best, Doc.
Oh. Saka isa pa, yung main intention mo, why did you enroll? To enhance, di
For
ba?
to enhance and for promotion.
Oh, see? Oh, for yan, the problem. Enhancement and promotion. So while you're doing your work now, ang iyong guiding ano doon, guiding spirit mo doon, eh, gusto kong ma-promote. Paano ako mapopromote kung hindi ako mag-aaral? Di ba?
Yun nga, Doc.
So,
Bugbog sarado na yan, pero okay lang.
o sige lang. I teach psychology and I always ask my students, you should always bear in mind the philosophy of or the psychology of positivism. Then tawag nating positive psychology. Because this approach actually is a very motivating factor. Kahit sabihin mo na, gusto ko, wala naman determination. May determination ka nga, kaya na may konting hassles, musimang na ta. And ang pinaka-critical factor dyan, yung time management eh. Mama ka, asawa ka, bana ka, teacher ka, labandera ka, cook, tiglabada, with all this pa. Household chores. I do that all, Ruby. Katatapos ko lang naman, nag-class ka agad ako. Tinitingnan kung baka umulan, so lulabahan ko naman gano'n. So yun nga na, it's practically mind alertness and awareness. Thank you, Ruby. Don't you worry, I know you can do it. Sino ba diyan may issue? Ikaw may issue ka, Jennifer, kasi may mga anak ka pa dyan, may 2 years old ka pa, magawa ka pa ng research dito sa curriculum development. Baka mamaya pag sirado natin ng Zoom natin, sasabihin, grabe pa na si Ma'am. Marami na reklamo na. Wala na.
Okay lang to. Okay lang to. Yung issue is, yung husband ko nag-set na ng time sa Saturday, next Saturday.
Para,
mag, mag-out daw kasi kalalabas na ng ng schooling ngayong March 10 for 2 months.
oh,
Sabi niya
ngayon,
mag-out. So,
saan kayo
siguro,
mag-outing?
awan ko sa kanya parang sa Balabagan to. Hindi pa man ako
Wait,
nakapunta.
sabihin mo sa husband mo, anong klaseng outing yan? Overnight?
Overnight to
O di,
pero
pagkatapos ng klase natin, mag-overnight na kayo.
para mapaiwan na lang ako.
Ayaw po kasi bonding na family. Marunong ka lang mag-budget, for instance, gusto mo sumama. I can understand that. Pwede mo sumama, makuuna mag-report ma'am. O, gano'n lang yun, di ba? Isas that. Makuuna mag-report kasi mag-pack up ako ng things kasi mag-overnight kami. Isas that. Pero hindi ka absent. Hindi ka absent sa family mo, hindi ka rin absent sa klase ko. It's not easy as that. That is why you would like to satisfy yourself in both areas. Ganun na yan. In this case, I will teach you time management. Wala kayong choice.
Okay lang dok magsasayo lang isang subject asa hanggang hapon 6
Well,
to 4
you have to pray for other teachers. Kasi yun ang sinasabi ko sa inyo. Na hindi lahat ng... Yun, while we have diversified learners, we have also diversified teachers. So, we can be flexible. Merong mga teachers na flexible, understanding. Pero depende yun if all of them, kasi hindi nga tayo, we have different interests, we have different motivations, we have different level of thinking, or level of awareness. So, mas makakaintindi siguro yung nag-study ng human behavior. Sabihin na lang natin na, because I'm a psychologist, I am a psychotherapist, so naintindihan ko yung inyong plight. I am a pastor, ganun. So, mas marami akong naintindihan, kumbaga. Pero kung halimbawa engineering siya na teacher, ang alam niya yung figure. O kung halimbawa doktor naman, ang alam niya yung health. Pero sa humanist, kaya doon sa strand na mayroon tayong ABM, meron tayong textbook, meron tayong gas, meron tayong Humes, meron tayong STEM. Alam mo, ang pinakamakatao doon yung Humes. Sa totoo lang. Oh. Humanities kasi, di ba? Humanities and social sciences discipline. So, mas makatao. Wala naman tayong magawa.
Opo, Dok, share ko lang yung sabi ng kasama ko noon sa malayo pa ako sa Linang. Ay, ano man yan siya, oy. Hindi siya makaintindi kasi yung pinag-aralan niya mga hayop. Yung sa
Yes,
animal.
precisely. Lalo na kung bet-med, no?
Opo,
Bet-med.
Dok.
Ngayon, while you are studying in my class, maibibigay ko sa inyo yung, kasi I'm teaching also values education and values integration. Kahit memorize mo lahat ng values, pero how do you integrate these values that you have learned in the actual life? Iyon ang ano doon. So, intindihin mo na lang siya, hindi man siya ganun ang kanyang masters, hindi din ganun ang kanyang orientation. Na ikaw, ganun ang orientation mo, ikaw ngayon ang mag-understand sa tao mo yun. Yung ganun lang yun. Kaya, well, I've been employed in many types of work. Hindi ko maiwan talaga ang teaching because nakita ko yung nobility ba, nobleness ng teaching. You really have to have not only knowledge and skills, you've got to be humane. Hindi lang basta human ka. You should be a humane human. Maraming humans pero inhumane. Diba? So, hindi, yun na sinasabi, diversity. O kayong mag-asawa, kumusta naman kayo, Blair and Rex? Naapa ba mo diha? Ano masasabi nyo kay kayo rabang dalawa?
Okay lang, Dok.
Any more issues? Para magkaintindihan tayo ba? I would like to start
So
this.
question po, Doc.
Yes, Iris.
Ayun, do we have to post our ano po, yung report before namin siya i-report? I mean, i-propose sa GC or after na po ng report and saan po siya
Why do you have to
i-send?
post?
Ang
Why do
ibang
you have to
Kasi
post?
sa
professors
ibang
po,
ano,
yun
Doc, sa
ang
ibang
ano.
certificate
No,
po.
I don't need you to post that. You don't have to send your reports. Kasi inyo nga yung i-compile, di ba? When you report, nagbibigay na kagad ako ng grade sa inyong reporting. Pero yung mismong papel, yung effort niyo, yung documentation, all of this will be compiled and submit to me in a form of softbound sa end of the semester. So keep all those reports. Ang masusubmit nyo lang sa akin kung meron
Okay
tayong
po.
quiz or exam. Quiz, exam, yung ganon. Pero yung mga outputs nyo, workshops, keep all those. Pwede lang yung mabigay sa akin na maipakita ko yun. Kasi i-check ko lahat yun at the end of the semester after the final exam. But anything na you would like to
Okay,
sabihin
Doc.
at gusto nyo
Thank you.
mag-communicate sa akin na you feel na it's not worth your classmates seeing, huwag nyo i-post sa GC. Ang atin lang ilalagay sa GC yung inyong mga related sa subject, no? Mga inquiries nyo sarili-sarili nyo. Pero if you would like some issues to be discussed sa akin na hindi naman talaga dapat sa GC, you can email me or text me sa account ko. But every now and then, nagpo-post ako na related to the subject. And feel free, ha? Feel free to text me.
Speaking of curriculums, no? Is it true na parang tinanggal na nila ang history sa curriculum, like the high school curriculum? Kasi right
Ah,
now, feel ko yung mga estudyante ko, bakit hindi nila alam ang basic? Like the basic of history.
kasi yung history kasi naando na pasok na yun sa yung
Hekasi?
subject na different
Araling paglipunan.
body disciplines sa senior high. 'Di ba meron doon? Disciplines in different areas.
Sa
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 inyo sa
junior high school, Doc,
mm.
napasok na siya sa Araling Panlipunan. So before Manggod, we have specific like Philippine history,
Oo,
like
oo.
we
Wala na 'yon.
Civica ata sa elementary, wala na siya.
Oo.
So napasok na siya sa Araling Panlipunan, which is ano na siya, nandun pa rin naman yung history, pero ano na siya,
Hindi siya
broaden na.
specific na hindi na siya yung talagang specified na subject.
Oh,
Katulad ng
yes, Doc.
English 1, English 2, wala na yun siya doon sa college eh. Nasa senior high. Yung dating English 1 namin sa college. English 1,
Nahirapan
English
lang ako kasi doc ngayon when I first entered the itong current school ko ngayon. Kasi it's the first time I taught talagang formal na school. Hindi siya like
2.
art
Oo.
therapy lang. So
Mm.
binigyan na ng curriculum to develop, gawan ng lesson plan and everything. And then when I started to teach, and some of the kids are new students and some of them are old students. Pero lahat sila parang tameme kung sino si Balagtas, anong
Oo.
balagtasan. So parang
You can,
you
I
can
would
tell me
suggest,
how many girlfriends Rizal have, but you can't tell me the stories ng kanyang libro. Parang, like what? Parang ganon.
ang Rizal, I think you have to consult also yung inyong head dyan. Baka meron silang changes we do not know. Kasi every senior high, iba-iba kasi yung approaches nila. Although meron talagang curriculum for that.
Pero parang nawala ang basics. Yun yung ano ko, yung parang ba't hindi nila alam to? At that age, we know it.
Okay,
How come they
Mai,
don't know it?
let me tell you something. Yun ang sinasabi ko kanina. How will you develop subject curriculum, content curriculum, and learner curriculum? In other words, the details of the approach depends on the teacher handling the subject. Kasi ngayon, ibibigay sa iyo yung the holisticness of the course eh. Pero it is up to the teacher, how will she approach the subject in such a way that you can deliver the content that are essential para ma-develop yung knowledge nila. Yung panahon nyo, yung panahon namin iba, yung panahon nyo iba, iba na rin ang panahon ngayon. Wala na talaga yung, sa panahon namin, meron kaming Philippine history, may Asian history, may world history, may British history. Ngayon, meron pa ba yun? May world history pa ba ngayon? Philippine history? O, di ba?
Wala na.
Pero,
Wala na,
wala,
Doc.
yun na nga ang point. Ang ginagawa,
Na,
as time goes on, yung educational system natin, yung sinasabi nga natin na nag-i-improve, nag-revolve, nag-evolve na naman, tinatry nilang ipasok na lang, kumbaga sa palaman, sa pan, pinasok na lang ingredients na lang yan. But it is up for the teacher kung paano niya we bring into the awareness of these learners para yung natutunan din natin noon, mabibigay din natin. Although we cannot give them the whole details of what we learned yesterday. Iba na ngayon. So, ikaw ngayon, kung halimbawa you are interested how far you can go sa history, sa Philippine history, which will, sabihin nating warrant your time. Pag binigay mo ang the whole history, how long will it take that you're able to finish all the curriculum or the subject in one semester?
Maubos yung oras namin, Doc.
Precisely. Okay. Pero,
But I'm having
the
a hard
point
time
there-
din kasi I teach art and part of it is art history. And
Oh.
especially ngayon, yes po, especially ngayon, di ba, na online, mahirap magbigay ng mga quiz na let's say multiple choice because alam mong bubuksan lang nila yung libro and madaling
hindi ako
mangopya.
nagbibigay nun.
Yeah. So, ang
Huwag
ginagawa
kang
ko po,
magbigay nun, Maita.
ang ginagawa ko po, ano na lang po, essays. But I don't want to teach them na, okay ha, this year, itong nangyari, ito, ganito, itong mga art movement of this year. I don't want them to memorize that because yung aking philosophy of teaching, feel ko memorization is not the answer. So I want them to understand why Juan Luna painted this, why Hidalgo painted this, why Rizal wrote this, or what gave way to the Philippinization Act of yung ating mga art movements, ano ang mga ano ni NCCA, mga ganon. I want them to know the why. Eh parang question mark sila kung why. Yung at first, nung tinatanong ko pa lang sila yung parang what are they familiar with, sino yung mga artists that they know, meron ba namang nagsabi sa akin si Shakespeare daw nangyari after the Great Depression? Talagang, what? Talaga,
Okay, ang
Bakit
tanong
ninyo
ko,
alam
Maika,
to?
I will throw back the question sa iyo, ha,
Yes
halimbawa,
po.
what if all these learners also will answer back? I do not know, ma'am. What will be your approach?
Well, I started them with the basic, at least a little bit of world history para at least alam nila why, and what
Okay.
gave way to what.
Oh, that could be your response. That's your response. In other words, para hindi ka mahasal, hindi ka ma-frustrate kasi yun ang answer nila, hindi ko alam, ma'am. This is now your approach. Respond to what they don't know.
But what if you had a
Yun ang
teacher
sinasabi
na
ko.
hindi kasing avid in history like me? What if the teacher really doesn't care and yan mag-memorize lang kayo ng art movement?
O, sa
Paano
iyong
po yun?
case, tatanong ko ulit, sa iyong case, do you care or don't?
I care very much.
Okay, so no problem. Di ba? No problem. It depends on the teacher's passion, conviction, and commitment to the subject that you're handling. Di ba? We are not concerned with other teachers. We're not concerned with other learners. Yung learner ko, yun. So, kailangan talaga yung conviction ng teacher. Do I care for my students? So, I don't care. Anyway, bahala. Basta nakaturo ako. I receive my salary anyway. Matuto sila hindi. Basta ako na. Ganun. So, it depends on our spirit. That is how passionate I am, even in my class online, lalo na sa masters. Sabi nga ng isang estudyante ko, ma'am, ikaw lang teacher na nag-absent. Kami, binibigyan lang kami ng requirements. They don't even care. Okay, I care. Ang question is, sa ating teacher ba, do I care for my learners or not? Now I know that they do not know anything about the subject. What will I do? Am I committed to teach the subject or not? or I am committed when my supervisors are around, or because I'm teaching, hindi because I receive my salary. Do I care that my students will learn from me? Or pabayaan mo na lang, tato may Google naman dyan, magtanong-tanong na lang sila sa Google. How much do our learners learn? Mag-ano ng Google nila, or doon galing mismo sa atin. Kung galing sa atin na teacher, di ba, mas ma-feel nila, concern si ma'am sa akin, matuto talaga ako. Yun, the feeling itself. Kaysa yung sige silang scan silang Google, ang Google, sige yaw-yaw, nang yaw-yaw. Sama si ma'am, uy, di mag-yaw to, lisod-lisod. Para nung ako mga apo. Nagre-reklamo, sige sa hawak-hawak ng cellphone, sinasagot yung module, unsa man si ma'am, uy, ang hatag, makaglisod, di pa nag-explain yung, di ba? So I am putting my shoes in their shoes. What if my learners also would feel the same feelings that my apo are feeling now? Di ba? Para sa akin although I have not heard them, sabihin, nagayaw-yaw ang mga estudyante, pero I feel na parang it's a shame on me as a teacher. Long time ago, sabi ko, gusto kong maging teacher kasi I will serve. I would like my learners to learn. Now that I'm a teacher, I have not applied what I have been dreaming of before. Di ba? Yun. So it's a matter of conviction, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Maita, your issue is addressed or not?
Somewhat. Although it feels sad kasi yun nga, if you're not a passionate teacher,
Oo,
kawawa yung student.
precisely. So the question now is, are you passionate? If you are, then do your task. Yun lang. That's a commitment. And it's part of curriculum development. If I'm concerned with my learners, then how do I design the content curriculum? How do I design the subject curriculum? How do I design a learner curriculum? Mas yung subject nyo is malalim. Pero kung siguro kung ibang teacher ang magtuturo ay bigyan lang sa inyong book, bahala naman din. Hindi ako kasi gusto kong matuto yung mga estudyante ko. If I am so concerned sa my college students, mas lalo na sa inyong mga masters kasi naandun nagtatrabaho na kayo You are now applying what you learn. Ang college, wala pa yan sila Parang they are still, gathering data kung sa thesis pa. Sa inyo wala na nag-enhance kayo. And that's why I'm so concerned sa nagmamasters, lalo na sa nag-PhD or EDD. Kasi marami pa rin mga degree holders or mga teachers na hindi ko makitaan ng passion. I didn't say all pero marami ako nakikita halimbawa yung apo ko, sample ko yung apo ko. Nagtanong lang siya sa GC, ma'am, pwede po bang ba't kayo tanong ng tanong? Nangasaba ka sa GC. So yung issue niya na nagtatanong, nalaman na ng buong GC. Siyempre, yung mga bata, magtatanong talaga sila because there is an absence of explanation sa mga details. Unlike kung face-to-face, di ba? Kung hindi sila kasabot, magtataas sila ng kamay. Wala ko kasabot, ma'am, will you please explain, di ba? Before they go on sa work. Dito wala talaga Kaya yung mas naintindihan ko yung pag nakikita ko sa GC na gano'n ang mga bata, naaawa ako sa mga bata, pero naiisip ako, on the contrary, ano ba itong teacher na ito? Bakit siya magagalit kung may nagtatanong na estudyante? Normal ba yung estudyante magtanong? Hindi gani kasabot.
You're right, Doc. I agree with your philosophy that really depends upon the devotion, the commitment of the teacher. Just like me, I am teaching grade 1. Some of my co-teachers they just releasing modules, not having an assessment or calling to the students. That's why there are a lot of pupils nowadays na slow and non-readers actually.
Oo, totoo. Totoo yan.
Yeah. It might be the curriculum in our level, for example, the kinder and the grade 1 up to grade 2. It is somewhat different from the higher grades. Why? It's because modules history are very useless. When we say useless, wala na siya pulos, ma'am, if the pupils or the learners doesn't know how to read. So sa level ko sa grade 1 and kinder to grade 2 dapat ano jud ma'am, reading lang sa jud sila more.
Kaya nga sa ano, sa
More on
inyong
reading lang.
reportings, madadaanan nyo yung, we always have to go back to the basic, the 3 R's. Remember the 3 R's? Arithmetic, reading, di ba yan, no? Writing. R man yan sa una. Yung writing natin, wala yung W. Writing, reading, arithmetic. Oh. Arithmetic. Yun, basic yun. Actually, yun man ang basic eh. Kaya nga makikita natin when we reach part 2, which is the level of curriculum. Makikita natin ang comparison doon ng curriculum sa kinder level, primary, intermediate, junior high, senior high, college. Then, pagdating natin sa area, nakikita naman natin yung, yun nga, informal, non-formal, yung ganun. Okay, any more question? Any more, something na alam nyo na baka ma-address on some issues nyo that you are now experiencing? More? Yes, Mary. Mary Blaze.
No, Doc.
Ha?
Wala ko, Doc.
Ah. Sige, I know in the midst of our discussions, maraming lalabas dyan. I know. Expected ko yan. But I would be, I would be very interested to listen to. I am in the field of teaching, siguro. Isipin na lang yung from 1973 until now, I'm still in the teaching field. So I am appreciative to all those who have been there for more than 10 years na. Especially, yun lang ang nakita ko lang dun sa mga singles na diretso ka agad nagturo. I suggestion ko lang ito ha, hindi ko sinabing sundin nyo ha. Akin lang ito. I mean, it is left to your own decision. Don't marry so much your career ha. Look at yourself also, baka maiwanan kayo. Love yourself also. Establish your own family so that when you better understand your learners when you have your kids, when you have your own family. No more? Giselle? May question? April? Isa ko na lang tamo para madali ta. Mary Rose, mayroong problema? Issues?
No, Doc.
Okay. So, if you don't have any more questions, if you don't have any more issues, all the reports will be delivered in only one Saturday, next meeting, kasi na-miss na natin itong araw na ito eh. We'll finish all the reports para we can proceed to the next level and then workshop. And mas maintindihan niyo yung mga learners no, when you go through the depth of the subject. Right now, wala pa. Medyo kasi hindi pa natin marirealize the importance of our existence in the life of our learners. Kung hindi natin maintindihan how the curriculum had been developed and should have been developed. Kasi nasa atin ngayon, finished product. Diba? The finished product that we have now is actually, ang magiging question is, how do I deliver this finished product to my learners so that they can better understand them, itong mga lessons, and so how can I fairly assess the performance of my learners? Kasi right now, kung ang basis mo is assessment ng performance ng iyong learners based on the ready-made curriculum, lagpak ang mga estudyante kung hindi tutulungan ng mga nanay at saka tatay. Paano naman yung mga tatay at nanay na hindi marunong magbasa? O kung nagbasa man, hindi nakakaintindi ng English lahat. Ang iba, nakapag grade 1, grade 2 lang. Look at the terminologies of your modules. Hindi siya appropriate doon sa level of learning ng ating mga estudyante. See? At ikaw na teacher, halimbawa ka, binasa mo ba yung module na i-deliver mo sa mga estudyante mo? Did you read? Kasi kung binasa mo, maintindihan mo nga nung di sila kasabot. Besides, may mga teachers na nag-provide ng key answers. Pero one teacher told me, Ma'am, dili ba yata ng answer dito correct? In other words, what's the purpose of giving you yung mga misguided scoring key? So for those who have no exact parents who can really support them to answer academically, ang tendency ng mga bata yung kopyahin yung scoring keys. So ang labas, may lagpak, may nakakabit, hindi talaga sila nag-perform. On the other hand, not all have cell phones that they can make use para ma-answeran nila. See? Pero kung ikaw na teacher, binasa mo muna yun, so ako yun. Deliver. Kaya yun ang point ko. I don't have to expand more. Kasi anyway, we will be discussing that after sabihin nating delivery yung part 1. Okay, kung wala ng question, is there anything na feedback on our small discussions ngayon? Ang gusto kong tanungin sa inyo before we wind up is, anong insight ang nakuha mo ngayon na feel mo hindi mo pa na-expect? Feel mo na hindi mo pa naranasan? O feel mo na it's still your question? And feel mo ngayon mo lang naisip? Okay, so let us start. Yung tanong ko. Nag-iisip pa kayo kung ano iisipin. What insight you have obtained ngayon sa ating first meeting na hindi sumagi sa isip mo na meron pala noon? Or hindi ka nag-expect? Or you are experiencing it now? And that you need an answer. Yes. Oh. Parang kauli na ta kasi kailangan malaman ko kung ano yun.
For me, Doc, my insight of this afternoon with regards to our new curriculum as we are experiencing the pandemic, just modular, releasing modules, blended, online. So for me, I think in correlation sa subject nating curriculum development, I really ponder that the volition, the devotion, the commitment of the teacher must be maximized as to cater the needs of the learners as we are experiencing the pandemic. Meaning to say, aside from the modules that you are releasing, you have to also, from time to time, you have to call your pupils in order for you to assist their learning and assess also their learning. So meaning assist and assess.
You do
Para
that?
meaning to say, you are going to, ano ba yan, kamustahan. Kumustahan in Messenger, Google Meet, Zoom, just like that. Para maano mo sila talaga. Matulungan. You can give some assistance to the learner.
Is that your insight or you're doing it now?
Actually, Doc, I am doing it now.
Oh. Anymore? That's a challenge.
Kami po, Doc, we have homeroom kasi ano kami, private school. So we really meet the students every Monday, 1 o'clock. Yun yung aming
Face to
homeroom time.
face.
Hindi po, Zoom po or Google Meet.
Zoom.
Depende which one the teacher wants to use. Less and less po. When I talk to their parents, talagang pandemic stress eh. Kasi kung tanungin sila, meron ba silang ginagawa sa bahay? Wala daw, nakatingin lang sa ceiling kasi at first yung mga pakonti na student, naisip ko baka nalulun sa ML or something. Kasi meron naman yung mga students na ganon na ano sa games. So yung iba lately kasi makita mo yung performance nila pababa ng pababa. So tatawagin ko yung parents kasi may Viber group naman kami sa parents tapos may messenger group sa mga estudyante. Pati doon nawawala yung estudyante. I don't know if
Ano
maybe
feedback
it's
ng parents?
wala daw
Feedbacks ng
nakatunganga lang
parents.
sa ceiling. Tapos hindi naman daw nila ma-force to do anything. So yun lang ang ano ko is well, kung ganun maybe kailangan siguro mag-break. Yung parents din ayaw nila ipapa-break yung mga anak nila kasi private school, mahal talaga yung tuition. Ayaw nilang masayang ang tuition.
Mm-mm.
So medyo mahirap po, Doc.
Okay, sino pa? We can address all these issues as we go along. Mga insights natin ito na dapat every now and then na we have meetings, try to develop conceptualize my insights nyo. Kasi ang subject natin needs talaga na analytical thinking. I'm serious with the subject class. So I hope that you're also serious with. That's why I always seek feedback from you and insights to find out how the subject will really help you in your field.
Good afternoon, Doc.
Sige, go ahead.
Yes, Doc. Just an insight lang po, Doc. You mentioned a while ago that in the DepEd, we have no choice but to adapt what's given to us, right? Curriculum, wala kami magawa kasi yun yung bigay sa amin. Ano lang siya, Doc? Although medyo restricted kasi yun na yung binigay sa amin na curriculum. But I guess in the point of view of a school head po, Doc, kasi nakikita ko kasi, Doc, na yung mga modules, no, related pa rin din sa pandemic, Doc, yung mga modules kasi na nire-release, medyo nahihirapan din talaga yung mga students. But then again, Doc, we're encouraged to Doc, i-contextualize or find some ways to make it easier for the learners kasi yung mga modules kasi na binibigay, Doc, masyadong broad or masyadong mahirap yung mga terminologies.
Correct. Yan,
Wala naman kasi
terminologies
talaga
niya.
nakakapag-explain because yes, Doc, kasi sa amin kasi, Doc, majority talaga is modular talaga na modular. Yung walang backup ng online or walang backup na hindi kasi blended, Doc. Kaya yun yung nakikita ko and yun po kasi yung mga reklamo din ng mga parents at ng mga guardians na they could not help because they themselves didn't know. Kasi mataas na yung level high school na kasi, Doc. So in our level po sa school, we are encouraged and the teachers, although it's an additional job and additional work for them, They have to spend more time to contextualize, to simplify, yung mga ganun, Dok. Although hindi naman lahat yung gumagawa kasi alam mo naman yung yung sa ano natin na hindi naman talaga lahat ano mo talaga na gumawa. But ano po, yung nakikita ko naman po na yung mga gumagawa ng mga simplification, modification, um, contextualization, they really help a lot mga students po. May nakikita po talagang result kasi yung mga feedback ng mga students as well as ng mga parents na mas madali na lang, mga ganun, Dok. Pero because it's modular, hindi talaga natin makakuha yung tinatarget nating standard. Yung sinasabi, standard talaga natin na gustong ma-hit because of that restriction po. Yun po, Dok.
Okay. That is why every now and then you'll be discussing. Pero ma-i-enlighten kayo pag gumawa na kayo ng subject curriculum, content curriculum, and learner curriculum. Diyan naman, okay. Even how difficult seem to be yung mga ready-made na modular, it is now the task of the teacher in her classroom or in his classroom. How will he or she simplify it? Medyo mahirap tayo ngayon sa simplification dahil sa pandemic eh. Samantalang kung nasa face-to-face tayo, how do we simplify it? We can say it orally. We can just roam around and ask the learner ano hindi mo naintindihan, so you can just coach them. Mas naintindihan ng mga bata yung human touch eh, kaysa yung sinong tatanungin nila sa module, eh, kinuha lang ni mama at saka ni papa para answeran ng bata. Tanungin ng bata yung kanyang mama, hindi ko siya kasabot. So yun, wala. Merong absence kasi doon ng humanity eh, kaya hindi maintindihan. Hindi, wala yung emotional contact doon eh. Yun lang naman. Let's pray na magbalik na sa face-to-face para ma-end naman po din tao na mga problema sa mga bata. Hindi man lang din ng mga bata, pati yung parents, pati kayo. Ganon. Okay lang sa mga high level, katulad niyo ngayon, nasa masters na. Pero yung tao, elementary, high school, college, problema sila. Okay, wala na. Kayo bang mag-asawa, wala kayo nakitang problema sa inyong klase?
Meron po.
Gusto may problema nyo? Okay, cannot hold you long. Basta ano ko lang is stay put. Ingat kayo dyan sa inyong work. And always ask yourself what is your purpose in life, what is your purpose in your respective area of work. And approach life with brighter outlook, positive approach. Even how high the mountain is, because you would like to reach the peak of the mountain. When you reach the peak of the mountain, it's not actually the peak of the mountain that counts. It's how you come up to the mountain that counts much. Okay, see you next Saturday, 1 o'clock to 4, with 10 minutes or 15 with your reports. Let's finish all.
Thank you, Doc.
Bye-bye.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.
Thanks, Doc.